Today I want to talk about why I cut the logos off all my clothing, why I wear clothes with no logos or prints on them, and how you can remove the logos from your clothing quickly and effectively. Let's get into it. If you don't know me, I'm Spencer, and I like to talk about simple living, frugality, and how to reduce your consumption of technology in this modern time that we live in. So why do I wear clothes with no logos? That's something that I've recently just started doing in probably the last year or so. It's been an experiment that I kind of tried. I used to have like maybe an Adidas shirt or something like that, or I don't know, like a sweater that was made by Champion or something. But a while into that, I decided, I didn't really want to be a billboard for these brands. I don't want people to be able to pigeonhole me into somebody who wears a certain type of clothing and is trying to say something about themselves through the clothing that they wear. Obviously, you're going to be saying something about the clothing you wear, whether it has logos or not. It's by choosing to actively do that, I am also saying something about myself and how I'm choosing to live. But I guess I'm being more intentional with what that message is. And I've reflected on that, and that is that I want to be unbranded. I don't want to be beholden to companies, and I don't want to be wearing somebody else's brand because I'm me. I also had a good collection of shirts built up because I like wildlife and stuff, of like shirts like a fox shirt or a wolf shirt or a duck shirt or a fishing shirt or something like that, right? Something displaying just like an old man shirt with prints of wildlife on it. Basically, when you have something like that that's still not really a basic, it has some sort of print on it, I feel like it still allows that item to be sought after and consumed. And just for me, when I had a sweater with a wolf on it, if I saw somebody else with a sweater with like a loon on it, I was like, oh, that's so sick. I wish I had that. That looks so cool. And I was kind of lusting after it. By getting rid of prints completely from my wardrobe, that has kind of been a way for me to cut down on the desire for other clothing. I get some basic t-shirts here in some colors that I like, some kind of simple like earth tones mainly, in timeless kind of styles, like a crew neck or something like that. People can still, I guess, want different fabrics and different colors, and that kind of can still drive you to accumulate. But by cutting out branding from your clothing and by also cutting out the patterns and anything from your clothing, that really does cut down your options quite a bit as to what you can possess. And I see clothing, I still want to express myself through my clothes. I still want to look a certain way. I try to pick more natural fabrics. I don't wear really any plastic-based clothing anymore. No Gore-Tex. There's some brands that make good quality shirts and pants, coats, whatever, that I do like, and I want to buy their products because they're made well and I want to wear them. But I don't want to show them by wearing their brand patched on my heart or whatever it is. So I choose to purchase those items and then I just cut the logo off. This is a lot easier if it's not a printed on logo, if it's a sewn on patch. I pretty much don't buy anything that's going to have a printed on logo because it's just like too much of a pain, in my opinion, to remove it. But if it has a sewn on patch, it's actually quite easy to cut it off. So now we move into the how. Well, I'm going to show you. I just got this in the mail today. This is for work. It's a black Carhartt Henley, and it has the Carhartt logo here on it. Now, I like Carhartt's clothing. I find that their pants rip in the crotch too easily, I will say, but their shirts are really heavy duty and they're really well made. But I still just don't really want this, There's too many Carhartt shirts around here anyway. I'm going to show you guys how I cut this off very quickly right now. So first, I will say, I'm a pretty big guy. Like I'm like 6'2". I'm not super heavy. Like I'm like 170 pounds basically, but I usually wear a medium to a large t-shirt. With Carhartt, this is just a tangent, but that's not the case. I have to buy size small in Carhartt because these shirts are so dang big. Look at how big this is. And this is a size small. This is as small as I can get to my knowledge. But it's a nice quality, heavy duty black shirt. I've heard that it wears in quite a bit because I don't really like black shirts. But I like black shirts when they're quite faded, and I heard that this one fades pretty quickly, so I'm pretty excited about that. Okay, so I have a little sewing kit that I bring on the road with me when I travel for work because, you can tear your clothes and you don't want the tear to get worse, so I just carry this little sewing kit with me and I'm able to patch stuff up really quickly. But one of my favorite pieces from this sewing kit is this very inexpensive little tool right here. It's called the seam ripper. I only recently saw one, so this is what a seam ripper is. It's two hooks. And you basically scoop this underneath the threads on the tag and it tears the thread. So here I have the shirt, and as you can see on the logo, there's a white thread in a box here holding the patch on the shirt. So all you do with the little ripper is you get it underneath one of these threads. You use this top part to get underneath, and then you just pop. And I just ripped it. And now, if you want to be really careful, you can literally just go along the line of all of these threads, and you pull it out. And as you see, I'm starting to make some progress here. This is the careful way to do it. There's another way to do it, which is a lot faster, but it leaves a little bit more threads left over. You can pull the thread through and you can be really gentle with it, and you can kind of do it all as one long piece of thread, or you can just kind of do as I'm doing here and just rip it. And then you're just going to have to clean up the little leftover pieces of thread. Okay, so let's see how it's going so far. So as you see, it's starting to come up. There's a couple spots, oh, there you go, that I got. And as you can see here, there's some pieces of thread left here because I didn't do a neat job. If you just run your finger over it though and you just tug, you're going to get all of these out, no problem. Okay, so here's where I'm at so far. So for the last quarter of this patch, I'll show you guys the quick and lazy way. If you don't want to just have to, tuck underneath and go like this, you can also do this, which is pull it a bit. And this is again the lazy way. Use at your own risk. Is you just lift it as much as you can, and then you stick the seam ripper under the whole thing, and you're just going to start popping them as you go, because it'll start lifting, and then the blade's going to get underneath and just pop them. You can go pretty quick like that. Just give it a little brush. My girlfriend's going to kill me for getting these all over the floor. And there we have it, folks. We started like this, and now it looks like this. So here is the finished product. As you can see, the logo's gone, and I like it a lot more now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I don't want you to think that if you don't buy clothes that have no logos, or if you don't cut the logos off your clothes, that you're somehow a shill to a brand or anything like that. This is just a way that I like to do my life nowadays, and I like to kind of actively show my values through the choices that I make, and this is one of those things. I hope you guys found some value in this video, found it interesting, not too long-winded, maybe learned something along the way. Let me know in the comments section if this is something that you'd be interested in doing, if you're doing it already, or if you think I'm an absolute nut. I'd love to hear from you either way. Thanks very much, and I'll see you in the next video.
Well, there ain't no use to sit and wonder why, baby, if you don't know by now. Well, there ain't no use to sit and wonder why, baby, it'll never do you anyhow. When the rooster crows at the break of dawn, look out your window and I'll be gone. 'Cause you're the reason I'm traveling on. Don't think twice, it's alright.